Testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 1 2 1 2 3. Hey there, hi there, ho there. This is RHJunior, RHJunior Reality Check, coming to you live over the internet through a series of tubes known as boob tube, known as YouTube, bringing you another broadcast late on a Saturday afternoon of my personal favorite show. I'm sure it's your favorite too, Spleen Squeezins. Wamadooba. Oh, hey, how's it all doing? How's it all going? It's another late afternoon where I'm trying to not only keep in touch with my fan base, but I'm also trying to motivate myself to do anything. My legs hurt, my feet hurt, my butt hurt, everything hurts. I'm in pain. Yay! I'm sure you're thrilled to death. But, I'm alive. That's how you know it hurts. Okay. I love you. I love you all. Now, at the moment, what's happening? Absolutely freaking nothing. Good news on, I suppose if you care about that sort of thing, good news. And you say about the Notre Dame building, the Cathedral of Notre Dame. After the fire, they put the fire out. It's darn sturdy. Let's put it that way. The roof, there was a lot of damage, but a lot more survived. The overall structure is still sound. A lot of the historical treasures and artifacts were saved. In fact, even the beehives, they apparently keep beehives up on the roof of Notre Dame. And those survived, and they're doing fine. So hooray for the bees! They even managed to save most of the stained glass. So it's going to cost over there. They've already raised something like $1 billion to repair and rebuild the thing. It's going to take them forever and a day, but they're going to be able to do it. I'm not Catholic, and I'm no fan of the Catholic Church. I disagree with them theologically, to say the least, and their historical track record is something nobody should be proud of. But the historical value of the Notre Dame Cathedral, that's something that you can't exactly set aside or ignore. Okay, this music is loud in my ears. The music, she is loud in my ears. I am turning down my microphone. I am turning down my headset, so I am not going deaf. Because going deaf, she sucks. Hotel. Okay, the graphics playing in the background are courtesy of Plane 9. It's a free program you can download. It's a super nifty screensaver program. It's www.plane9.com. RHJunior.com. Go there, and if you feel like it, throw some money in their hat too. They probably need some money. Everybody need money. And Quinky Dinkley, if you were all feeling like supporting my artistic efforts, such as they are, I have a Patreon page, and I have a grimy stuff on my drawing page. I have a Patreon, I have a PayPal button on my homepage. Any little bit helps, because the IRS is hitting me up for $1,500 this year. Well, no, $1,400. And so I got, I'm already not scraping by. It's infuriating and humiliating. But those are those are the yokes, folks. Everybody out there, just a squirrel trying to get a nut. Okay, I'm looking for there's my stencil. Okay. Got some commissions that I want to finish up that I'm still working on. Working on those. Trying to get at least a couple of them out the door. Also, what else? I'm trying to branch out into new topics of discussion and new areas to talk about, because I feel like I'm repeating myself way too much on topics for the show. It's usually just me blowing off steam, and this is really no way to rake in the donations, you know what I'm saying, boring people to death. But okay, it is 6:21 in the afternoon. Afternoon. Who decides when the afternoon ends and the evening begins? We're all expected to just sort of ballpark it. But in case you're wondering, that's the watermelon cantaloupe. That's what people in crowd scenes are saying in the movies. Yeah, that's what they're instructed to say. When they're all together, they're instructed to say watermelon cantaloupe, watermelon cantaloupe, cantaloupe watermelon, watermelon cantaloupe, cantaloupe cantaloupe cantaloupe, watermelon cantaloupe. Because when you have a bunch of people saying that, it sounds like a bunch of people in a crowd talking, or at least what we expect it to sound like. There are certain sounds that have become a cliche that we expect. The crowd noise, the Wilhelm scream, the Frankenstein lightning, pow! Goes on forever. And I am not going to try and open up that Foley board. I'm pretty sure that I'm at my limit as to what the computer can do. So I don't want to do it. Oh, I've been poking around it. The Champions Online Free For All, the free version. just out of sheer boredom and curiosity, I booted it up. That game is, let's see, it was 6 years ago last time I played it. This game is over 10 years old, still has an audience. There's just a few people floating around in there. Once I finished playing with the character creator, I had a lot less interest in actually playing the game. Largely because the missions, there's only so much variation in play. There's very little replay ability. It wasn't really up to snuff back when it first came out. It did not have the features that most of the games already boasted, and more pictures especially, and it was seriously lacking in certain regards. It was, but it was. Let me be the first to say it was, an excellent, a very, very excellent example of what a superhero game should be in many regards. I've talked about this before. The two main competitors at the time were Champions Online and City of Heroes, and I played both. And City of Heroes flat out sucked. Not have the comic book feel. The game was basically, for the large part, it was like it was written by people who had heard about superhero comic books and decided to make a video game about them without actually ever reading a comic book. Basically ignoring huge swaths of what makes a good comic, a good comic book, a good comic book. And I've harped on that. Whenever I get started on it, I'll harp on it for hours because it just wasn't good. And you started out, in City of Heroes, there was a perpetual state of frustration. They had a very flexible power structure system where you could give your character different power sets and how you built them, but you couldn't mix the different types. You couldn't, and there was a sense of frustration because you start out, you make a character. The first things you give him, the first character I made was a flying brick, a Superman wannabe, and I gave him, he never even got to fly because first of all you had to level up 15 levels before you could even get a travel power like flight. So here you are, running on foot everywhere. Basically, you're giving your superhero super strength and vulnerability. You think, hey, great. And he goes out, he gets beaten to death by a purse snatcher. Or rather, he gets beaten into a hospital. That was the convention of City of Heroes. Is that when your hero got beaten down to zero, he woke up in the hospital. My character saw a lot of the inside of that hospital. Because I'm trying to play this game like my characters are actually superheroes, and they're getting their butts kicked like they were on EverQuest. Anyway, your character was any purse snatcher could beat the crap out of you. The villains didn't really change in appearance or play or power from level to level, so it's like you're still beating up purse snatchers. The same purse snatchers, except they're pretending to be and the building interiors, the missions were almost all identical. They had one, most of the missions involved, most of the missions involved you going into an abandoned warehouse, and it was the same abandoned warehouse, every single one. Floor layout, everything. The only thing that changed was, a couple of different mooks in different locations, and your character. Well, let me put it this way: your first mission in City of Heroes was to go trotting off to City Hall, ask your government liaison for a mission, and you'd go out and deal with a couple of purse snatchers hiding out in a building. And you had to be careful not to aggro too many people on the street, too many villains on the street, or 2 or 3 of them to gang up and beat your super strong flying superhero to death with baseball bats. That was mission 1, okay, in City of Heroes. In Champions Online, the first mission was you taking part in fighting off an alien invasion. And your character was already coming out the gate, kicking butt and taking names. City of Heroes, everything is over the, just think Golden or Silver Age superhero comics. Over the top superhero action. City of Heroes was vastly superior. Champions, was vastly superior to City of Heroes in every regard, except one. The problem with Champions is that the people that made it, I don't know what engine they used, but I do know that while my computer back then could run City of Heroes with little problem, it choked to death on Champions Online. I had to turn the graphics all the way down, and these special effects all the way down, and even then it was still, limping along. And I found that very frustrating, to say the least. The thing of it is that even after you've played it, sometimes the City of Heroes, it did have its flaws. Champions, rather, and still does. But the problem is they've gone to a free-to-play model. First of all, most of these superpowers and types of hero you can make are locked. It's one of these so-called free-to-play is basically shop for everything kind of games now. And it's not you shop to win. Is that you shop for any different variation. Most of the different types of superhero, spend so many quatlus to get this power set to work with, or spend so many of these points to get this costume set, and so on and so forth. And the worst of it is that you've always had a superhero character. You've had one in mind since you were a kid. Right? Everybody has. Everybody has. But if you wanted to design, a custom superhero, in the game before it went free to play, if you had a gold level account, which would mean you were paying subscription price. A monthly fee. You could, you went gold standard, and you could mix powers from all the different types. You wanted to play a robot ninja monkey pirate? No problem. Fire breathing kung fu artist, magical space alien, anything. You can do it. Now they've locked. Now I've come back and now they've locked all those away. Most of the power sets have been locked away, and you can only pick from. They have dozens of templates. The brute, the excuse me, the brute, the tank, the mage, the archer, so on and so forth. And they only have specific powers that they can use. You have to pay to make your character free. You have to pay to open up all the power sets. And it's like $10 a pop for a power set, $10 a pop for a costume set, $10 a pop for and so on and so on and so on and so on. Gee, I can't imagine why the community that plays the game is so small. Can you? So all the best features of the game that earned it my praise back in the day are now locked away behind. You must pay, pay through the nose store. It's a trifle frustrating. And what's worse is that you can't get a gold account. You can't, just say, okay, I'll pay the monthly fee so that I can play with all the toys. No, you either are free to play and you buy everything piecemeal, or you can get a free lifetime account for $300. Games, I get the feeling basically that NCSoft is abandoning the game, and they just reach a point where they're going to squeeze it for all the pennies that they can. As long as they can. That's not going to be much longer. Nobody's really tried to make a competitor for the game. I haven't seen any real superhero-themed games or mortgages out there since City of Heroes. DC made an effort. That one apparently tanked. Again with the music already. There. How's that? I'm sorry about that. I try everything to keep that noise manageable, but without it, too much dead air. With it, the sound keeps overloading, overlapping, and just anyway. They haven't added anything to the game in 6 years. They've added a couple of costume sets, but they haven't expanded any of the missions. They haven't changed any of the scenery. It's on its it's a game on its last legs. Of course, it could just end up like EverQuest. EverQuest, from what I understand, is still out there, and it hasn't been updated since like the Jurassic period. Graphics are. I've seen the most cutting edge graphics on EverQuest, and I'm like, crap. Oh, damnation already. Pardon my language. I'm just sick of having to fight this stupid music. The audio volume on this crap. Nobody needs this, Nobody needs it. I haven't looked at RuneScape in a while. They do seem to be, there was about a 4, I played it early on, and I played it a couple years ago, and yeah, there was a lot of changes. let's just say that when they started out with a lot of room for improvement. So, excuse me. I can't, look. Part of me can't understand that. Part of me thinks, if I had something like this, my attitude would be, they're gonna yank the rug out from underneath us. I might as well go, bug nuts and, do all the crazy things with this game I always wanted to, but they don't think that way, so. They just let it sit there. Okay, I'll be fair. As a creator, you get tired after a while, and you lose your enthusiasm for your creation. God knows that, but but a part of me, you just could never seem to give up. I tried to give up on most of my comics, you'll recall. Seal them all, but it didn't make any difference. I'm starting to wonder if I'm from a generation with, I'm 48 years old, and I kind of wonder if I'm just, the first vanguard of the attention deficit generation, or something. I don't know, but. Audio. It's questionable whether the next generation of gaming is going to have anything to do with mortgages. They figured out that they can make just as much money faster making quickie little games like with the story behind them and Candy Crush, Team Fortress. What the heck is that new one where you build things even as you're shooting each other? What is it? Building a mortgage means building an entire world. And I don't think people in these corporations, I don't think they have the patience for it. Well, so to speak, for every Game of Thrones, they'd much rather take all the money that would go into Game of Thrones and use it to put out a few hundred reality shows. As far as they're concerned, the end product is the same. Ad revenue. Not Nightfall. Fortnite. That's it. Supposedly, I've heard somewhere that Fortnite is still in beta. Are people, let me ask you, are people still playing Pokemon Go? I'm sure there are. I mean, you got people out there still playing EverQuest. But Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go, absolutely. That has to be. I'll chalk that one up as the most innovative game creation of this half of the 20th century, 21st century. Doggone, I mean, it is the first. The Pokemon Go probably did more than the entire presidential, get up and move, exercise, everything, children's campaign, and getting children outdoors, running around and moving. A lot of adults, too. Because what a surprise, they figured out a way to make going outdoors and running around, they just found a way to make it fun and entertaining, so that it would lure people in. But as opposed to the get smart and healthy presidential campaign, which like most campaigns relies on guilt, finding people who aren't doing something, guilting them into doing it. They found out years ago, fear and love. Fear is a much, is a strong motivator, but it's not as strong as love and devotion. It simply isn't. They did an experiment where they took a bunch of puppies and trained them. They used two different approaches to train these puppies not to touch a bowl of food without permission. They were not to approach it. One group of puppies, they were coddled, they were praised whenever they behaved well and loved on, petted, and everything. And they were rewarded for good behavior. The other group of puppies, they used the aversion method. A little like they were scolded and punished, little electric shocks on their collars, that kind of thing. Guess what? Then they put the puppies in a cage. The two different puppies in a cage, and then they put them, in a bowl of food. And these puppies had been trained; they were not to touch the food without a signal from their trainer. And then they just left them there. A bowl of food on one side, the puppy on the other side of the cage. The puppies that had been paddled and switched and scolded and everything else, the ones that had been made to obey out of fear, they cracked. They would eventually reach a point. They would get so hungry they would start, even the most fearful ones would start crawling on their belly towards the bowl until they were finally in reach, and then the controller arm would snap and they'd just dive into the bowl. But the ones that have been raised with positive reinforcement, some of them nearly starved to death. Because they would not go to that bowl. They would not go to that bowl without permission. They had, they got so weak from hunger that the handlers had to, pick them up and hand feed them. Positive reinforcement works if you do it right. negative reinforcement has its place. In fact, half and half, usually works the best. Because there are some people who are, most people are motivated by, positive reinforcement, by love. But there are some, it's just simply a matter of they will go off the rails the moment they think they can. Because no matter how draconian the punishments are, the fact that the punishments and being draconian just makes them hate and resent the authority figure can't help matters. I finally came up with it. You heard this question. Why do you think that atheists can't be good people? You ever heard that one? Why do you think that you have to believe in a God in order to be a good person? I finally came up with a way to answer that succinctly and briefly. That's usually a 5-minute lecture, but it came down to this. I realized it's the simplest way to put it. Because we know how people behave the moment they think they don't have anyone to answer to. And no, popular opinion doesn't count either. Popular opinion is just mob rule. And deep down, we all know that we can manipulate. With a little effort, we can manipulate the mob to agree with us. Give us what we want. I want to be productive, but I am so. Well, it's not quite sure what to do. I'm still. I have to call. I have to call the taxi company Monday. I have to wait till Monday. You see, my insurance company, my Medicaid, my Molina Healthcare, my Medicaid healthcare provider, Molina, they provide free medical transportation to and from, things like doctor's appointments and therapy sessions, that kind of thing. You have a certain number of free rides you can call them on per year. The thing of it is, I went off on a tear on this the other day, is that my legs have swollen so much that I can no longer fit. I haven't been able to fit in the car in years. But my legs are fired. They're swollen so much that I cannot even get into a minivan now. The seats are too close together. Now, the only company that my local Molina Healthcare goes to, you ask for medical transport, they call a taxi company. And they don't call anybody, they have nobody else on their Rolodex. And this company, they use minivans, which is nice, but, being special needs, it's just not quite enough. And this past Thursday, I was supposed to go to a doctor's appointment, and I was unable to go because they sent out a minivan. I went out, I tried to get in the vehicle, I did, I swear I spent 15, 20 minutes trying to figure out a way to squeeze myself into the dang thing. not something somebody in my condition can do. It's not something we should be doing. Now, I call him up. I tried to call him up. I'm going to have to wait until Monday for the person in authority to come in. But I called up these minivans. I looked in and I could see that the seats, the middle, you have the front seats, the middle seats, and back seats. The middle seats are separate seats, and I can see that they slot into the floor of the van and grooves. They're designed to be removed by the driver. Now, if he pulled out, if he pulled out one of those seats, I could climb up in, turn around, sit in the other seat by the wall. But I can't. He's not permitted to remove the seats, and he didn't have the tools to do it anyway. And they're designed. They're supposed to be. They're supposed to be designed to be removable. Easily removable. They have rails slide into slots and there's a lever. I couldn't figure out how to do it, but I could see it could be done. And I've got to call them on Monday morning to find out if this company, if I call ahead, will they send out a van with one of those seats removed so that I can climb up into it. I'm sorry, I can't tell you, I don't know. And that's all I could get from them today when I tried to call them and ask. Now, I could see it was the kind, from what I could see, it was the kind that supposedly doesn't need tools to be removed. I don't know. I didn't have the owner's manual for the minivan, so I couldn't tell you. But they did look like they were removable and designed to be removable. But he could remove it. 9 times out of 10, they got a guy who's driving who is almost as in bad shape as me. So anyway, I just literally could not squeeze my leg between the front seat and the back. Last time I managed to climb in and out, I actually tore open the back of my leg. Cut open a blood blister that was on the back of my leg, scared the crap out of everybody in the bank that I went to, because I didn't realize I burst a blood blister, and I walked inside and it was dripping down the back of my leg. I left dollops of blood on their floor. They had to call out an ambulance and clean up crew and everything. Excessive freak out, you know what I'm saying? I'm having to go through this ridiculous rigmarole just to go to the doctor's office for a visit. I need to get the doctor to write something out to send in so that I can be sent to a therapy, stay-in therapy clinic. They did this like 2 years ago for me, and they managed to get my legs down to normal size almost. Every step I've taken to try and do this has been another obstacle. The guy that was supposed to mow my lawn, he was supposed to show up last Monday. He never showed up. This guy was supposed to give me some information on another guy who could haul the trash out of my house. And I'm not kidding you. It's horrible. I've got bags of trash piled up in my living room because my trash pickup service, I missed a payment, and now it's canceled. And I was unable. When I did have it, wasn't able to get it down to the curb because the person who carried it out for me had stopped showing up. And now here I am, the house full of trash, and nobody willing to do it. I'm seriously considering calling my niece and her husband and begging them to come up here and do this for me. And they live all the way in Columbus. And top it all off, I'm never enough. I haven't even got enough cash coming in to maintain the status quo. It's I had to had to skip paying my trash pickup guys just to keep the lights and electricity on. And I've fallen. It's just everything is flying apart. Everything I own is either broken down or full of trash, including me. want to do right now is curl up in bed and not move. Rest of the week. For not the rest of the month. I'm really sorry. I've just. Sorry, I didn't mean to fall silent for so long. I'm trying to pull up. I never have energy. I'm never well rested, and I never beaten. Just about the only way I can deal with it, just to admit defeat. My home is a wreck. My finances are a wreck. My body is a wreck. I really am. I just tried to start up the computer program for the art program, and I promptly fell asleep. I can't even. This is getting frustrating. This really is. I've sat here, and every time I start to do something, I drop off. It's I don't know what to begin to tell y'all. Beg your pardon. Every day for the past week, I've done this. I've gotten up, gone into the living room. I've tried to square everything away, and I try to show an after. And by the time the show is, I am tapped. I'm exhausted. I've used up what little energy I had. I try and sleep earlier. No good. Hmm. Even as I'm sitting here, I'm dozing off again. I go to bed and I wake up or I fall asleep in my chair over and over again. I finally go to bed and I'm woken up by my legs hurting. Can't sleep, can't sit down, can't stand up, can't lie down. Even now I'm running on autopilot. Because I'm not. Ow. Because I'm hurting and I'm tired. And it never seems to stop. Beg your pardon? So I can get my legs healed up a little, just so I can get some sleep. I'm trying to think of something, cobble something together to sell. But I've already gone down that road so many times. And, well, every time I come up with something to sell to people or something to offer as a service or a good, it it only attracts the attention of a handful of people, and I end up being a charity case for a handful of people. Value for what I receive. I used to be able to do 4-hour shows without thinking about it. Now I'm lucky if I can keep the gas pressure up for an hour. Me just sitting here talking is draining me. I keep talking because I hope that there was a time when if I waited long enough, a second wind would kick in. And I think I already used up my second wind, and I'm running credit up on a third and a fourth. Not a clue what to do about it. Gotta try and call the Social Security agent again on Monday. Yank him by the ear. Come on. Have you been working on my case? Oh no, he's not been working on my case. He can't even answer his damn phone. All I get is an answering machine. I call up and people shuffle me around from person to person until they finally drop me on this one guy's phone, and it's always an answering machine. The bastard never is in his own damn office. Pardon my language again. All I'm asking for is my own money back. The money that they were supposed to be holding on for me. Because I need it now. I need it desperately. I've got no resources. I'm physically disabled, and I'm living in a rotting trailer surrounded by trash because I can't find any sorry SOB who just takes the money to haul some trash away. I can't find anybody willing to do that. Every time I think I find somebody, they vanish off the face of the earth next week. I can't get my lawn done. I can't get my roof repaired. I can't even if I had even if I had the money that people around here ask for, they'd never show up to do it. That damn music. I'm so sick of that damn music. I've literally got the music turned all the way down, okay? I've got it down to like negative 83.9 decibels. And I've got my microphone turned up as loud as it'll go. If you can't hear me, check your own computer, check your connection. Because I don't know what the hell's wrong with this end. I don't think there is anything wrong with this end. I don't know why you people tune in. Because these past, this is all I do. This is all I talk about. How screwed up my life is, and how I can't get it on track, and how it can't be for amusement. Really. I haven't got any. And I look at this, and I look at what I talk about, and I haven't got anything novel to say. Got nothing novel to say to anybody. There are 1,000 critics on YouTube. There are 1,000 movie critics and game critics and social commentators who are 1,000 times better at doing that sort of thing. And I got more to say, and I come along and I've got nothing left to say. I've got nothing to say, and I'm lousy at saying it. And I don't know why this exhausts me so much. I don't know why I never have any energy when I try and sit down and do. mean, the last 2 or 3 nights, I'm not kidding you. I got I sleep and I wake up and I finally wake up and I literally have to hoist myself out of bed. I have to sit up on the edge of my bed, drag my legs around, sit up on the edge of my bed, reach over, grab hold of the door frame of my closet, that's right across from my bed, and literally pull myself up out of the bed. Like levering myself up on my feet, set my feet, and then lever myself up, and hurts like heck. And I get up and I stand up and I never feel rested. I'm either hurting or tired or both, and it's reached a point where I'm, being tired and being in pain feels the same. I get up and I think, my legs are hurting, but I'm awake, and I start my day and I try to go about my day, and I sit down and I blink my eyes and it's 5 in the afternoon. I wake up and it's 5 in the afternoon, or it's 6 in the afternoon, and then I'll try and start things, start the computer programs up to connect for a live stream, so or something, and boom, I'll crash out again, and I'll wake up and it'll be 9. Do you wonder if all those detractors that drove me away from film fiction might be doing stuff? I don't know what they'd be doing. They were only interested in 2 things. My film fiction, my My Little Pony fan fiction on film fiction, and my complaining about me on that forum. And I left that forum. The baby got its bottle and got its way, so I'm gone. They've got nothing left to do. I don't think I warrant the sort of enemies that would expend effort trying to destroy, my feeble effort. It's not like they gave me edema in my legs. It's not like they gave me, put me in this trailer and they're not the ones making me sleep on a broken down 20-year-old futon. That's not on them. And it's not their fault that I've only, I've got about 90 people who are my patrons on Patreon. It's not their fault that I don't have I don't have thousands of people, watching my show or reading my comics or anything like that. It's not their fault that my update rate has crashed, as hard as and that it's a grind just to do anything. It's not their fault that I'm exhausted all the time. It's not their fault that I'm sick and that I can do nothing about it. Even with all these supposed social programs that are supposed to help, and all these civic programs and all these helping hand things and all these and insurance and government program, government this and government that is supposed to be doing it. In fact, I wouldn't need government help if it weren't for government help. The reason I owe so much in taxes, the reason I'm going to have to start making payments to the IRS every month again, is because of Social Security. Social Security, which I am applying to get because I'm handicapped. Stop getting louder. fill of it. Thought of making a Questor novel? What do you mean? Chief, I have got several print books for sale on kablam.com, through kablam.com, and there are links right on my webpage to order them. Now, I have been trying to look into getting them converted over to Amazon.com, but I'm floundering in the water trying to figure out how to do that. How to take the PDFs of my comic and convert to I'm just convert them into a form that I can publish through Amazon.com, and I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. It shouldn't be this difficult. It shouldn't be this difficult to make something so simple. You see, Kablam.com and the company that publishes my comics, my comics collections and stuff. I asked for it and they sent it to me. They sent me back PDF forms, but the problem is that they're print PDFs. They're laid out, for well, it would take too long to explain. Basically, it basically boils down to it's double wide pages and they're all out of order. And I've got all the pages. I could, if I could figure out how to make a PDF. I remember once I tried to make a PDF. I managed to arm twist a program into making a PDF file out of all my comics pages at one time, and it put them in. And despite the fact that they are, alphanumerically in order, it still managed to put the pages together in a PDF out of order. I had to spend something like a week shuffling the pages in that stupid damn file. Pardon my language. Until they were all in order. And there was still something wrong with the format. This PDF format is outdated or something. And it's always some other piece of crap like that. So I've been getting the pages together and got trying to figure out how to convert them to PDF. And right now I'm at the point where I'm just dreading the slog. But I want to get them on Amazon.com. A written Tales of the Questor novel. Now I've been talking about maybe going to a more written format for my comics, for Tales of the Questor or the like. I have been thinking about that. I haven't taken the plunge yet. Because Tales of the Questor has always been a very, visual product for me. And I always mentally picture for years, over 20 years, mentally picturing it as a comic book. And it's surprisingly, a bit challenging to come up with a Questro story, that's just written out like a regular novel. That's something I need to put my hand to, or at least try. It would have to be a standalone story, something separate from the comic continuity. Something to try for. But I've got to be careful of this sort of thing, though. I've got certain things that I have to do, certain things that I'm supposed to do. If I go, rabbiting all over the place, trying to chase the the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, I'm never going to get anywhere. It's, it's been a very frustrating life for me. Is that one of the things I noted after getting online, getting into various fandoms, and try my hand at making money at cartooning and art. I noticed one of the most common trends was is if everybody was making money hand over fist at something, just about the time that I would start to try my hand at it is when it would die. I would get one or two commissions. I would auction off commissions. There was a period where auctioning off art commissions was, the high bidder wins a drawing that you do for them, and there was a point where you could easily pull in a couple $100, and this was back 15 years ago. So it wasn't exactly chicken change, and I came in there and I started doing it, and the first one, oh, I made $80, and then the next one made 50, and the next one after that nobody bid on, and the market just went right there on the floor, and all over me. Nobody wanted what I had. And everybody's doing this, and so I started doing that, and everybody's doing this over here, and I started doing that, and back and forth and all over the place, and everybody has a dozen different brilliant ideas on what you could do next. The drawback is that everybody has an idea what you could do next, and you're lucky if you can try one, much less all of them. You know, perpetual steeplechase. I had the Sanguine Chronicles, but I wrote myself into a corner with that one. There just really wasn't a whole story there. The thing that motivated me to start writing it was my annoyance at the whole Twilight phenomenon, and you can only go so far on that. This annoys me. That's great for little short satirical pieces. Not so great for trying to write a novel. And really, by the time I'd reached a certain chapter, the werewolf vampire thing had already made its own state. What was that movie series Underworld? With the vampires versus the werewolves and the vampire werewolf hybrid, and like I'm sitting there writing the Sanguine Chronicles, going crap. It's hard to be original. It's hard to be good at being original, too. There are plenty of people who are incredibly original, but the stuff they make is terrible. Well, I thought that running these shows, I would be able to do this show and draw while I was doing the show, and increase my product. Try and increase my product. That's not working. I'm not going to be able to do diddly squat until I can get my health and my energy back. Or at least fake it. This is why so many creative types end up snorting coke. Anything to fake that energy of youth. That's the reason we sell millions and millions of gallons of coffee. Drink millions of gallons of energy drinks and energy shots, and chuck back bottles of no-dose pills, and trying to keep ourselves running long after the tank's empty. All my creative juice, it pisses me off. Oh, you have enough creative juice for this. You can do this over here too. You've been writing these fan fiction stories. You ought to have plenty of creativity to do this over here. Which is like saying you can flap your arms, so you ought to be able to run a marathon. Even then, the fan fiction, I can scratch out a couple of sentences every now and then, or I'll get a burst of creativity and finish up a chapter. It feels like more and more the on the art end of things, I have to struggle harder and harder just to get the same results. And everything looks like crap. Any new chapters? I've got maybe a couple. I've got a couple of paragraphs of the Warcrafter sitting over here. I've already told everybody. I've been mentioning it's been up for about a week now. It's got a chapter of the Warcrafter, chapter of Ladybird, and a short chapter of the Great Alicorn Hunt. Another story I've been doing. Okay, I said not the Sanguine Chronicles, not uh, I got a couple of really horrible children's stories I wrote like 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Absolutely awful. But let me think. Got all the comics on my page, web page, but out and out just plain written stories. No, I don't have anything. I can't think. I can think. Do you remember what it was about? That's called the Warcrafter. It's on Archive of Our Own and also on Sufficient Velocity. The Warcrafter. Guy gets thrown into the world of Worm. He has he is, by a cosmic entity. The cosmic entity grants him the powers of a World of Warcraft character. Both those franchises are heavily copyrighted, my friend. Well, you don't know where they are. It's on Archive of Our Own. Archiveofourown.org. Look under Ralph Hayes or RHJunior. That's right. It's also on the forum sufficientvelocity.com. Fanfic. Oh, my foot, my foot, my foot, my foot, my foot, my foot, my foot. Don't have a link to it on my main site. No, I don't. Doggone. Come to think of it, no, I don't. I've got links on that site to my main site, but not the other way around. Got to figure out some place to put the link, though. Let me see here. Screw it. I'll add a link now. It's in two different locations. Sufficient velocity to come. It's in the forums. You go into the forums. They should have a link. Go to. Never mind. I'll just go to my page. I will say this: the version on sufficient velocity is a little bit different. Just does little tweaks here and there. I can't resist editing while I'm working on the posting. But let me see here. Where would I put the link? I have no idea. No, I'll just put it on the front page here. Let's see here. New post. For now, I'll just put it on the front page. Let's see here. It's um. Okay. I'll just give the archive of our own listing. That's the one that has all the stories together. So. I mean, see. The Rise of Darth Vulcan. Audience. Just beat down. Okay, I'm just typing these out. I'm going to post them on the front page. And okay, I think that lists them all. Publish, blog, standard, publish. There we go. All right. As soon as I figure out a place to put up a permanent link, I'll put up a permanent link. But for now, there. Oh, give me a break. D&D, or whether you use a plus sign or an and sign, unless you're unless you're really pushing it and being a pedant, D&D, duh. DUH. Yes, new chapters. Let's see. There's a new chapter in Tales of the. Let's see. New chapter in the Great Alicorn Hunt. New chapter in the Warcrafter. New chapter in Ladybird. Surprising amount of controversy that Ladybird generated. Because I made. Oh, ow, 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 ow. Because one of the less beloved characters, Greg Vader, makes his appearance in it for the first time, and people do not like Greg Vader. He's basically the Ron Weasley of Worm, and people, I had people on the forums just threw a fit. Oh, you brought Greg Vader into this? I'm never. Your writing sucks. Your story sucks. I'm never reading this again. Good, they just couldn't seem to leave because they were so busy telling me how they were leaving and never coming back again. D plus D. Oh, so some Japanese anime claimed that abbreviation. Give me a break. GMAB. Give me a break. The link to Archive of Our Own is there on the front page. Let's see if I can. Profile page. I'm trying to see if there's one page I can go to for. Ooh, pardon. Bleh. There's a list of recent activity. There's postings. Information. Threads by RHJunior. Here we go. Link. There we go. And paste. Add link. There. Okay, that at least puts a link up there. So that's something. Ow, 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 ow. It's on the front. They got the links to the fan fictions on there on the front page. I'll work on putting a permanent link up when I figure out where to put it. This web page layout is not taking advantage of the width of the modern average screen. I got two big wide gaps on either side, and everything's smushed together in the middle. I'm not even going to try and tinker with the layout. Not even going to think about it. Not with my lack of know-how. Lord Hylia, truthfully, it's not. I will work on it. Let's see, Lord Hylia, I believe yours was the one with the shop. Let's see here. Yeah. No, that's not it. That's not the link. There we go. There, just so you see the progress thus far. I don't know why. It just feels like I'm beating my head against a brick wall. If I could get one of those hospital beds in here, I would be curled up in it and I probably wouldn't come out for a year. It's either this or, either this or develop a lifetime addiction to Monster and Red Bull until my kidneys, turn to gravel and kill me. Ladies and gents, take care of your kidneys. Trust me on this one. Not only will it hurt the entire time, you will experience physical traumas you never imagined ever as they try and fix you. I went through having kidney stones removed, and it is an ordeal. It is an ordeal I would not wish on anyone. I've passed kidney stone and I've had to have them removed surgically. And if they screw up, you are screwed over. both my grandparents, all three of my, you know, the only one who escaped that fate, the only one who was up and around in their old age, my grandmother, my mother's mother, just died suddenly. I believe I'm not sure if it was an aneurysm or a heart attack, but she's just one day dropped. She'd been a volunteer at the local hospital right up to that day. I think she was getting ready to go there for her what was going to be her last shift. But my other three, my mother's father and my father's parents, all three of them died bedridden. Just and in all three cases, it was my my mother's father went, he just dementia, and he just faded away. And my father's parents, they both died hard. My grandfather had been exposed. He died before my grandmother. He had been exposed accidentally to refrigerant fumes. He had inhaled them, and they just basically ruined his lungs. He spent the last several years of his life, last couple of years of his life on oxygen constantly, and he ended up in a bed in his own living room, just gasping for air. He just withered away, and he was in constant pain. And my grandmother, I forget exactly what all, uh, but she went the same way. In a gurney in her own living room. All the Hayes, a lot, pretty much everybody in the Hayes family died hard in a hospital bed. My great grandfather, he died in a hospital bed. I forget what it was that took him out. My my granddad, it just slow, wasting kind of death. And that's what's got me wondering, is that I have a prolonged suspicion that I am going to be one of those who, just goes out like a crashing spaceship, just pieces falling off and things breaking down, and end up in a hospital bed with about 1,000 tubes in you. Every time they come up with something, every time they find something wrong with it, it's something they can't fix. Can't frickin' fix. Or it's something that costs the world to fix. Okay, Lord, hallelujah. Okay, there you go. Yeah, okay, okay, okay. You say you got something Questor related to send, but you haven't finished it yet. Well, that's nice. Thank you very much. Feel free to, feel free to take your time. I am. This is terrible without music in the background, isn't it? But every time I turn on that stupid music, it starts drowning me out, no matter what volume level I set it at. I'll probably get a nature sounds tape or something to put on in the back. Wind chimes or something. Oh, Ricola. Okay, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night for this broadcast. I'm hoping to eventually someday do a good show that I'm willing to put on the front page again. That would require time, talent, and money, and I haven't got any of those. I've got time, I just got no talent, no money, no plan, no script, no idea. Okay, but I'll see you all later. Just pray that I have just one restful night and day so I can get up and be productive, solidly really productive for just a day, where the energy flows and the talent's there and everything works for a while. Pray that I get somebody who will mow my frickin' lawn. Pray that I can get somebody to help me by hauling this trash in my house away. But you all take care of yourselves. Thank you for listening. And